Call this November 10th reorganization meeting of City Council order. All rise to the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilman Cropper,
Here.
Cora,
Here.
Lopez,
Here.
Acting Mayor Tom Reel,
Here.
Department Heads Chip Camilla,
Here.
Chief Ward,
Here.
Chief Taylor, Shane Oshman.
Here.
I don't believe we have any departmental reports. Does anybody have any correspondence they'd like to offer? Does anybody in the audience wish to address council? Not at this time. We're going to meet with you folks at the end of the meeting.
Yes,
Okay, okay. Old business, none. New business. Resolution number 36977, accept James McDonald's resignation as city mayor. Council Finance.
Second.
Councilman Cropper,
Yes.
Cora,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Reel,
Yes. Something else I'll have to read that one.
Number 36978, City Council hereby elects Councilman Tom Reel to fill the vacancy of mayor created by the resignation of James McDonald.
Second.
Councilman Cropper,
Yes.
Cora,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Reel,
I abstain due to a conflict of interest regarding monetary compensation. I'll do that now. This will be my 6th time I've sworn in this evening.
I, Tom Reel,
I, Tom Reel,
having been duly appointed
have been duly appointed
as mayor of the city of Bradford,
as mayor of the city of Bradford,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity. Thank you. I had planned to come back, but not that way. A little different route. Okay, moving forward.
Move on to the next resolution?
Yes.
Okay. Number 36979, authorize the proper officers of the city of Bradford to enter into a service agreement with Verizon for service for Callahan Park parks.
Second.
Councilman Cropper,
Yes.
Cora,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Reel,
Yes. Sure.
Number 36980, accept quote, approve payment to Karpinski's Office Systems, Council Finance.
Second.
Councilman Cropper,
Yes.
Cora,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Reel,
Yes.
Number 36981, approve a natural gas sales agreement with Snyder Brothers Incorporated, Accounts and Finance.
Second.
Councilman Cropper,
Yes.
Cora,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Reel.
Yes. This next one will have to, I think obviously you've appointed me mayor already, so I'll fill the first one. And I would suggest that Tim Pecora take my position as deputy mayor and director of accounts and finance. Seems like he has the most seniority of anybody else on council. And Fred to slide over and take his position overseeing fire, and Terry to stay at streets and public improvements, and then parks would go to the open seat that was now created.
Agreeable to everyone on council.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So we'll have to read that,
Read it.
I suppose.
Yeah. Read it as. Number 36982, appoint councilmen as the head of certain departments, accounts and finance.
Second.
Councilman Cropper,
Yes.
Cora,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Reel,
Yes.
So,
No, next one,
oh yeah. Number 36983, authorize the proper offices of the city of Bradford to advertise for a candidate to fill a vacancy on city council, accounts and finance.
Second?
Councilman Proper,
Yes.
Cora,
Yes.
Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Real.
Yes. We're gonna take a small break for a moment here because I know there's some people here at other places to be this evening. Then we'll carry on with our discussion with the housing authorities. Anybody else? Shane, do you need to go, Shane?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're gonna stick around?
I'm gonna stick around for a while, and when it gets a point where I need to leave, I'll just.
Oh, thank you. We'll see you. We'll see you. We'll see you.
We'll see you in a few minutes.
Congrats. We'll see you.
Huh?
Can't believe you wanted to wait. See you later.
Margaret, now, I know you don't want to say some of the pictures you got.
7:30. I got told about 6:15 or so.
Good.
Behind you.
One on the other side.
What's that? Either one, doesn't matter.
Look at the audience.
This way.
You guys look cute.
Thank you.
Not you, them.
Oh,
You know what I mean.
thank you.
No problem.
Don't move.
Oh.
Yes.
Then you can say hi to me.
Hi.
You move.
I know. I have to wait for a flash.
She never sits still.
Bueno. All right, don't move. Okay.
Try doing her hair, talk about not moving.
How are you? I haven't seen you in years.
Are you staying? You can.
You guys want to come to this table here? Aaron, you guys don't have to stay if you don't want to. We're gonna have a, or just a, like a work.
after this?
Not sure. I'll give you a call. Okay, thanks. You'll probably find the next person more.
Come up here if you'd rather.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for coming. Look how many left and give them a chance. You want, is that what they're gonna present?
So, McKean County Housing Authority is undertaking a large project, and I'll let them explain all of that. I did hand out a few things to you guys, basically, they were just sent to me the other day, how the housing tax credits work, and then the scope of the rehabilitation, that they're undertaking on the South Center Street and Brookline Court project. Ultimately, they're going to petition council at some point for an amendment to the current pilot agreement, that's payment in lieu of taxes. And I think they want to explain to you the scope of the project and where they're at with things. And I did send out an email this afternoon that had quite a bit more detail in it, but I'm not sure if any of you had an opportunity to look at that yet. It was a letter from Al Cherie explaining the ins and outs. With that being said, I don't,
I only have one copy of the letter.
I saw it.
Did you see
Yeah.
the letter? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
so with that, I guess we're on to a second petition to hear, or, you know,
Yeah.
public comment. So the official way of doing it is, we're not gonna make you stand, but at least state your name and address for the record for council.
That's official. My name is Al Cherie Williams. I'm the Executive Director for the McKean County Housing Authority.
I am Lori Freer, and I'm the Director of Facilities and Community Development with the Housing Authority.
I'm Bob Douglas, and I'm the Chairman of the McKean County Housing Authority.
I'm Patty Fitzsimmons. I'm the Executive Administrator.
Give the floor to you.
Okay, so we did this amendment, just to give a little bit of history, this amendment was conducted in January 2021. And it went through, and with all the taxing bodies, and all the taxing bodies did sign the amendment. And now where we're at in this project is closing. So I'm sure all of you are aware, in the closing process, things are reviewed, re-reviewed, and re-reviewed again and again and again. And upon the reviewing of the amendment that we have in place, there was a verbiage that needed to be corrected. Nothing changed, it was just verbiage that needed to be corrected. So thus the amendment is coming forth for the verbiage correction in the amendment.
Do you maybe want to explain the tax credit a little bit? Why-
The tax
How this
credit.
tax credit works and why things are
Okay.
done the way they are?
So, on the national level, the way that this has been set up, I mean, wasn't our choice of vehicle for financing, but it's the only thing that's been given to us. So on the national level, they made the tax credit program. It's been around since 1986. And what HUD said to all public housing authorities, we don't have the money to fund the backload of deficiencies on properties. So they said, here's your vehicle, you need to use it, which we did. We went through a competitive process with the PHFA, the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, and we were awarded a 9% tax credit deal, which is really unheard of. That within itself was very, very, very commendable. We went through, we got it the first time, very competitive process, 9% tax credit deal. So what that entails is for us to set up a LLC, like a taxing entity, so that we can utilize the tax credits. So what we do is the investors buy the tax credits, this is the program, and we use the equity to finance the rehab of the property. Now, this is just the way that the tax credit program is set up, and it is the way that we have to adhere to the program that's already set up this way for use of those tax credits.
Can you simplify the whole process for us and what it is you want from us?
And I'm not laughing at you. I just want to say that the tax credit process itself is very complicated. I
I
can
understand that.
try to simplify it as much as I can. What we're asking is to go forward with with the amended pilot in order for us to finance this project. I mean, basically the way that this is set up, the financing is so razor thin that we have to have the pilot in place so that we can actually finance this project, in short.
So ultimately, what occurred was in the pilot the renewed pilot in 21, correct?
Yes.
There was a clause in there that has caused significant issues, I suppose, with their underwriters or whoever's looking at these loan documents, that states if the property were to change hands to a private entity or a for-profit entity, that the pilot would be invalid and would have to be like renegotiated. I don't know exact wordings, but that's the clause. because it ultimately could come into question. The solicitor for the housing authority or their special counsel, I don't know who it is, reached out to the school district solicitor and said, you know, listen, we need this amendment. The school district solicitor called the school district, and this was in late August. In the housing authority's defense, it sounds like probably their, I don't know, consultant on this program probably missed this way back when. So that kind of explains why it's on your plate now when they're looking to close November 28th. The school district's attorney is the one that ultimately designed the pilot for the other taxing bodies, us in the county. At the time of design, he put that clause in there in the event it was to sell to a private entity. In his conversations, he has recommended negotiating the pilot, and they are asking you to leave the pilot as it stands, which is a 17% tax burden as opposed to the full tax burden. So I guess that brings it down to.
Thank you, Chris, yes.
Where's the county at with it? Do we know?
I'm not sure yet.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Where's the county at?
So we had a meeting with the county. I'm under the understanding after the meeting that they would pass this during their meeting, this month. Anthony Clark was involved in our conversations, and he said that he understood. He said initially the premise was not explained to him correctly. I'm not sure what that is because I wasn't involved in those conversations. But once we spoke to him, he said that he did understand and he had no further questions. So we did not receive any negative responses from the county.
It's the school district.
The school district solicitor is currently negotiating with a tax attorney that you guys have. Is it supposed to be? I don't know.
I know that the school district has been speaking with Eric Ross, our solicitor.
Okay, I thought for some reason he was talking to somebody, a tax lawyer in a DC or something, was
No,
Philadelphia somewhere. It was the impression that I was under. I don't know.
I'm not aware of that. They spoke today, Eric Ross and the school district solicitor.
I tried to reach out to the county commissioner's office today. I not received a response. I did receive an email from Miss Tenney's, the tax assessor, asking when the city would, and it was group email, when the city and school district would be considering this amendment. And the school district's meeting is Monday, I believe, and I responded that our next regular meeting
22nd.
would be the 22nd, and obviously it couldn't go beyond that due to their deadlines.
You're applying, but you have to apply by the 28th?
No, that's their signing. Everything's done.
Yeah, everything's done. Mayor Rell, this has been a 5-year process. I believe you and I met when I first started, and that's when we started this process.
I
That's how long it's
remember when you
been.
first came to town.
Yes.
Okay, well, we will take that under advisement and seek to take action by the 22nd, if not earlier. If we did earlier, we'd have to have a special meeting. We will follow up with you.
Okay.
There being no further business for city council, I entertain a
Sure.
motion.
Just, do all of you feel like they've got as much information from you? I just wanna make sure that,
I just wanted to say that it's really important, that this project go through. If the pilot doesn't stand as is and, we're have to renegotiate the tax, that cuts into our budget and, then we would have to, eliminate some of the projects that we have planned for that, particular one. We just don't have the money in the budget to increase, the tax anywhere. So the 17, we're just asking that the 17% stay as is in the original pilot. It's really important that it happens that way, so.
That's you, Chairman Douglas.
Got a lot of stuff that needs repaired, and HUD doesn't have money. And this is the way that we can do it. I think it's probably, a few years ago, I remember they were at a $28 billion backlog on projects, on renovation projects. It's probably over 30 now. So this is what they've given us in order to finance these things, and those.
When you throw that number, you mean countywide?
A county one, no, I'm talking.
Oh, no,
Countrywide,
Country.
30 billion that they don't,
Oh,
I mean.
I said million. I was like,
No, billion. Yeah, it's just, and, you know, those units getting old. I mean, they came in the 70s.
Bob and I had a conversation, and we both agreed that this isn't the avenue that the federal government gave the housing authorities to come up with financing from outside. Instead of giving the money, they're giving tax credits. But they didn't do the second level of making this program tax exempt. I mean, and quite frankly, somebody needs to push that through legislators, because
yeah.
it's crazy that here you go, but now the question is it private taxable?
Well,
I mean, and that's unfortunate that they left that hole open.
That's what the program was designed for, that, you know, a nonprofit can't take a tax.
No, I understand that they could carve out
Yeah.
the law that
Right.
if this is what this person is
Yeah.
doing, this property is still not tax exempt.
Right.
That's what,
Yeah.
it's not your
Yeah.
fault.
Right.
It's
Chris-
just,
Chris is asking why it's not.
Why it's not
nicely
already
the
planned, yeah.
sandbags.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The sandbox together, and
Yeah.
HUD is atypical for
Yeah.
those things.
So, but anyhow, we did have those conversations that it's, unfortunately, it's not their fault, but it does come into play on
I
the
mean,
questions.
The thing too is, the general partner that will be in charge of this facility and running it will be a partnership in housing, which is a McKean County-based nonprofit, but not taxable, so they can't do anything with tax credits.
You have anything to add?
I'm just echoing, you know, what Lori said, that we have very limited affordable housing in our area, and it's very important to preserve what we have.
Do you see like the last 6 months or year, the housing situation even gotten worse with the influx of people to the area from all walks of life? Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
Yes.
we have a waiting list, I believe it's 1,095 on our, public housing.
Good.
And then we have 367 on our Section 8 waiting list.
Wow.
So we have a lengthy waiting list, and with this project, we're preserving what we have. We really need more, but.
What's the total number of public housing units countywide you have?
416, that's public housing.
So 416, there's over 1,000 people waiting to get in there,
Yes.
in those. Wow.
How have, I'm just curious now that you mentioned that, how have those numbers changed through the years? Like if you looked at those numbers a year ago and the prior year before that, do you know?
They have increased. I mean, each year our waiting lists do increase.
But has it been like a huge increase from 21 to 22, or has it been just kind of
It's
steady
been steady.
through the years?
It's been steady, yes.
The
Okay.
Section 8 waiting list, you know, there's just not landlords out there and with the COVID crisis and the pandemic, their landlords have decided to go the route of getting fair market value rent as opposed to staying with Section 8. So, you know, Casey has been doing a really good job of preserving what we have for our landlords in our Section 8. However, there's not landlords that are knocking on our door asking us for more, because they can, right now, the way the market is, they can get more for fair market rent, as opposed to, you know, we're restricted.
With the last 2 years inflation, I'm assuming inflation goes into play with your reimbursement for rentals.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. I mean, we
What-
get
I'm assuming they adjust it, but it doesn't count.
not for inflationary measures. I mean, we get the regular adjustment, which is between 1% and 2%. HUD does that every year.
But it
And-
hasn't been any higher than that the last.
No, and HUD just does not do that. They don't go, okay, PH Bays, we know that you're going through inflationary issues, here's a bump.
Yeah, they set the rates for the rent that we can pay people. We have no say on what Section 8 landlords are gonna get for rental. It's given to us by HUD, the reimbursement for utilities that the Section 8 landlords will get. Get calculation once a year that's given to us by HUD.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll follow up.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
There be no further business for the city council, entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved?
Second?
Councilman Stropher?
Yes.
Cora?
Yes.
Lopez?
Yes.
Mayor Real?
Yes.